Mastering the art of critical conversations provides many benefits, such as learning how to deal with conflict. By mastering critical conversations, you may discover some other personal and professional benefits as well. In this video, we will tell you the benefits of uncomfortable conversation in the workplace. Before starting the video, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you can get notified when we upload the next video. Number 7. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Author and management expert Ken Blanchard explains his famous "feedback is the breakfast of champions" quote like this: "Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Without it, you won't feel energized." Similarly, without feedback, a company or person will be starved of improvement because they won't know what they're doing wrong in order to fix it. 65% of employees say they wish they could receive more feedback than they currently do. They're hungry for it. And there's work to do in order to close this gap between what we want and will help us grow, and what we have a hard time giving to others. Self-awareness has its gaps, and having those tough and uncomfortable conversations gives you insight into your blind spots. What's just as important as understanding those blind spots is the commitment to improve. If you don't, they will continue to pop up throughout your career. Tough feedback can be hard to hear, but the more you hear it, both the positive and the challenging, the more successful you will be in your role and the stronger your relationship will be with your manager and team. Being able to remember back to that tough conversation with our CEO that has enabled me to course correct for a more improved and polished future. Number 6. It creates a safe and open environment. Uncomfortable conversations help you clarify your thoughts and feelings so that another person can see you with more depth and understand you better. They can also relieve qualms or doubts about whether you are loved. Having difficult conversations is not about creating a culture of conflict. It's just the opposite. As a leader, you need to approach difficult conversations with a positive, constructive point of view where learning, not winning, is the goal. Even if the answer to an employee's question or problem is an unequivocal no, hearing their point of view and discussing it is valuable, if not for your time, then for the overall morale of the company. It's crucial that your employees know that their voice is valued and will be heard when they have concerns. Number 5. It expands the realm of company ideas. Great ideas don't just fall in your lap. They often have to be wrestled and coaxed to life. They are more often the result of difficult conversations than serendipity. Avoiding difficult conversations at work is akin to working with blinders on. You may be able to do it, but you aren't truly progressing. If you want to facilitate a company culture that's open and innovative, difficult conversations should not be shied away from. Your company's next great idea could be born out of a difficult conversation. Number 4. Connection matters. In these situations, by avoiding the conversation, you miss the opportunity to deepen and strengthen relationships. Conversations are at the root of human connection. Research by Jianguo Wei, Cleveland State University, and Dallas A. Francis, University of Hawaii. Conversation at work. The effects of leader-member conversational quality found that the quality of the conversation between leaders and team members had a significant impact on employees' organizational commitment. How we talk, when we talk, and how much we talk to each other matters. By having an open conversation, being transparent with the other person about the value you place on the relationship and understanding their intent and background, you open the path to building a more stable and healthier relationship. Having a healthy working relationship with a work colleague doesn't mean you always have to agree with them. It does, however, require you take the time to see things from their perspective. It's easy to make assumptions about a person's intent, particularly in an organizational context, and if your relationship with the person is challenging. We can wrongly infer a harmful intent which impacts how we react to their opinions and ideas. Consequently, each time we have a challenging conversation, we learn and grow from the experience. It broadens our perspective and reminds us not to be closed to other people's opinion. When you make the first move, reach out and initiate the conversation, it puts you in a far better position to navigate how it will proceed. Dr. Brené Brown, in her book Dare to Lead, refers to these conversations and actions as your arena moments. These are the moments when you are called to show up, be brave, and walk into the arena despite your fears. Before stepping into the arena, it can help to consider your approach. Number 3, getting ready. In getting ready for the conversation, keep true to your principles. For example, acknowledge yourself and that feeling uncomfortable is okay. Enter the conversation with good intent, a genuine interest in the other person, and a desire to achieve a mutually beneficial outcome. Strive to ensure the person knows you value them. Put yourself in the other person's position and consider how you want to be treated. Abandon any assumptions you hold about the other person's intent. Instead, be curious and, where relevant, inquire and clarify so you can be clear on what's been said. Where possible, have the conversation face-to-face, recognizing the importance of body language and communication in a time when neither you nor your colleague are rushing or anxious. It's essential to be centered, present, and calm. Create space for the other person to feel fully heard. Listen, get comfortable with silence, and don't talk over the other person. Consider in advance your core message. People hear words differently. To have your message heard, you need content that connects with them on a cognitive and emotional level. Remember, there is no perfect time. There's now or later, and the problem with later is it often never arrives. Number 2, what type of organization had I just walked into? A very different one than anything I'd ever experienced. Happy Melly was born out of our self-proclaimed emperor, Jurgen Apollo's desire to run an experiment. We are essentially his Management 3.0 project, a new style of company, one that nurtures innovation at work in a playful and forgiving environment. It's a team that embodies a merit system, a delegation board, and fosters an atmosphere of transparency, happiness, encouragement, risk, and being plain straight up. Yet as I embark on my 3rd official week on the job, I'm still trying to figure out exactly how things work. Not so much what type of work am I doing, but more how does this team work? It's a company with no signed contracts upon employment, no official start date, where they tell you that you've been hired on live radio. Fabulous surprise, where you get to choose how many days you work each month, with no one checking up on you, where email is basically obsolete. Slack and Trello are the main vehicles for communication, and where you don't report to anyone. It's an atmosphere of genuine trust and respect. In so many ways, it's bliss, and in many other ways, it's extremely confusing. Gone are the norms and traditional practices usually associated with working in a company and alongside a team. You're free to experiment, launch new initiatives, be innovative. You're free to fail. Switching this chip within myself has been challenging. As with any new job, you want to get off to the right start. Prove yourself, take charge, and at the same time not step on anyone's toes. In a role that's largely defined and carved out by you and with few guidelines to use as a benchmark, it's hard to understand and measure your value and productivity. I don't want to let the team down, yet at the same time, I know that if I start to falter, we'd be able to have an open and honest discussion about it. Number 1, norming, performing, and beyond. I can't think of a better way for me to have glimpsed into the core of what the Happy Melly team represents than to join the team while they were storming. It's not only motivated me, but has reinforced just how important it is to overcome the fear that so often holds us back from saying what's on our minds. Since the introduction chat, there appears to be positive changes. Seems like there's more role definition, increased initiative on the right tasks, a greater appreciation for each other. Both the transmitting and receiving parties in the talk were patient, honest, and receptive. They were eager to truly understand one another, and this is the start of the norming phase, when people begin to resolve differences and appreciate colleagues' strengths. There's also a stronger commitment to the team's goals. And while we remain on the cusp of storming and norming, I realize that this conversation is sure to be one of many. Witnessing such encouraging changes ensue so quickly after, it speaks volumes in terms of where the team has the potential to go. By answering each point for ourselves ahead of time, It not only helps us structure the conversation, but it allows us to gain clarity as to what we're really trying to convey. And as I move toward the forming stage and beyond with my new crew, I look forward to continuing to tackle issues as openly and as directly as possible, no matter which side of the conversation I might happen to be on. Do let us know in the comments, when's the last uncomfortable conversation you had? Thanks for watching.